looking at that statement, we are what we share. And that can be in many levels of life. So let's have a look at it from a physical perspective. When somebody has a lot of produce in their garden and you go to their home and they want to share it with you. When you're leaving, they'll often come with a basket or a bag of produce that they've collected from their garden. And what I've learned over time is that if you don't receive that beautiful fresh produce, it's a rejection of the abundance in the world, on our beautiful planet. So what I learned from that is that at a very deep level, that person is sharing with you who they are and how much they trust in the process of giving and receiving. And that component of giving excess produce to you as you're leaving their home is a reflection of who they are also. That's something to ponder, I think, in our world today of excess in some areas of the planet. So let's explore that today, who we are in what it is that we share. Let's start with a prayer for this gathering, this communion as a soul family. We acknowledge that we are part of the divine living presence and the living goddess, also known as the Mother, Father, God, and that lives within us and dwells all around us and throughout the cosmos. Today we gather in the name of pure intention and gratitude for our life and each other's life. And so it is. So I'm, really tempted to go back a little to the series that I was doing a few weeks ago called The Story of You. And what we did there was explored a few aspects of the flawed character family of archetypes. And in that we looked at, what the shadow side is like of those archetypes and how you can construct a bridge of light over to your brand avatar or your higher purpose archetype. So I'd like to sort of talk about that a little bit today, because if we're looking at sharing who we are and saying, we are what we share, if we're stuck in our flawed character, our shadow side, which I term as being more than 5%, because of course, the flawed character is a very creative creature and 5% of it is fantastic for igniting your creativity. However, when we stay in that frame of mind for too long, it can become draining your energy. It can drain your energy. It can become hard to be around for other people as well. So let's explore that for a moment and saying, well, is that really what I want to be sharing? Because when we're in that frame of mind, in that mindset, is that really who we are? Is that remembering who we really are and sharing that with our beloved community and our families? Because that's just the out of balance aspect of who we are. And as we're sort of in this very accelerated time of spiritual evolution right now, I'm always encouraging people to let's get a harness, or not a harness, let's rein in the flawed character a little bit in order to be able to access this bridge of light over to our brand avatar, so that we can really fulfill our purpose in life and not drain our energy on being in the flawed character aspect of our personality. So for example, if a person is a risk taker and their greatest fear is to live a mundane existence, and they start taking too many risks to try and make their life more exciting, it's going to be destructive, because it doesn't necessarily have a really a clear intention other than serving themselves to create something a bit exciting, right? Now, that can be a bit irritating for people around them, okay? It's starting to see how that can work. And then there's other aspects of a flawed character. So if somebody was an attention seeker, one of the traits of an attention seeker is that they can be very competitive, because, they have a fear of feeling insignificant. So if they're not gaining enough attention, they will start creating situations where they feel like they can compete, and we know that's not fun either. Not really fun to be around, and when it's out of whack like that, it's not really fun to be in yourself. So here we have a version of ourselves in that mindset, in that sort of stream of destructive energy. Okay, so misplaced energy, where we could be putting that energy into our higher purpose. So let's close our eyes for a moment and just imagine, here we are over here in our flawed character, right up there with probably, 80% opposed to 5%. And it's, firing on all cylinders, creating a bit of havoc, complaining and, making others wrong, not really showing who you are, all that kind of thing. But imagine if you could just sort of reduce that down, and because you have a specific bridge of light for each of those flawed characters within you that can support you over to a new timeline, in fact, and a new version of yourself. So imagine if you were a secret agent, and you realize it's important for you to be seen and heard, so you have to be totally authentic with people. That's your bridge of light. That is that person's bridge of light who has a secret agent flawed character, to then come over, I'm going like this because that's exactly how it is. It's like, yes, there's the light, there's the bridge of light. I'm going to go across that with that mantra of saying, I'm totally authentic with people. I am being totally authentic with people. And on the other side is the archetype, the higher purpose archetype of the educator. This is an example, and which is fantastic, because then what that does is you have this wonderful potential gift that comes out of that experience of going across on your bridge of light, and then submerging into that archetype of the educator and the gift of coherence, being a coherent educator and supporting people, because you know how to be totally authentic with people. So that's how that combination can work. So we're really robbing ourselves when we stay in the flawed character archetype for too long, because we're not really sharing with people who we really are. So I hope that's of value to you today, that you can see that it's not just an idea or a theory. It's a practice that what somebody can do that supports them in moving from a very old timeline that could even be connected to past lives to the new version of yourself in the higher purpose archetype. moving, say, from a secret agent to the educator who's coherent and has a very strong identity, and then able to share who they are with people and add value to their life. So that's one example. And what happens is you literally become a new version of yourself. It's still you and your soul, your spirit. However, you have had the courage to move from one timeline to another, an elevated timeline. And really, that is what we've come here to do, is to elevate our spiritual consciousness and have spiritual evolution, not just physical evolution, but conscious evolution as human beings. So let's just close our eyes for a moment, and in our mind's eye, just imagine that image of moving from an out of balanced, flawed character onto your bridge of light. And you may not know what that bridge of light is at the moment, but just imagine that you do. And as you cross that bridge of light and you move into a new timeline, and even in this visualization, you can feel it's easier to breathe. It's more light-filled and abundant with energy. Whereas the old version is compressed. It's compressed and needy in a sense. Like all addictions, there's something that needs to be fed all the time. So what we're doing is soothing that by becoming a new version of ourselves. And sure, this can be a cyclic occurrence, but at least you know you have the bridge of light to move over to. There's always a solution. And I think that is exactly what people need today, is to understand that when things seem so radical and hard to understand why things are happening in our world, to remember that there is a solution. There's always a solution. We just have to find it and be innovative enough and courageous enough. Okay, so let's look at some key elements here. We've looked at timelines, new versions of self, new timelines, and which create new awareness and new responses in your life. And how does that show up? So I believe it always shows up in things like synchronicity, in what it is that you're experiencing in your body. So before that, you may have had some aches and pains and things like that, and not known how to overcome that. And often when you move to a new timeline, there will be suggestions that come your way that are perfect, and you then can heal your body, or sometimes it just starts to heal itself because it's not being inflamed, so to speak, by these other negative energies that we keep generating and affecting our body with. So infecting, that's an interesting idea too. So, things that you can expect once you've moved from the flawed character archetype into your higher purpose archetype is more clarity, more sort of peace within your nervous system as well. This is how I always experience it, and more synchronicities. I always believe that the synchronicities are messages from the universe, letting you know that you actually have shifted to that new timeline, and you aren't that old person anymore. You aren't the old self, and have embraced this new aspect of self and elevated your whole consciousness. And one of the gifts is a synchronicity to keep you moving. It's like a bit like a little reward in a way, where you, yes, this is real, it's happening. And it could could be as simple as that you are clear enough, you have the clarity and focus then to be able to see the synchronicities. Because even sometimes if the synchronicities are coming and you're in this other mindset, you may not even be able to see it. So you're missing opportunities when a person stays in their flawed character, which can last for years really. You're missing out on the opportunities and potential of who you really are as a divine being. I'm going to share today a little story about context and content also, because I had an experience many years ago now when I was assisting on some big seminars and things that were happening in the 90s, and I had the privilege or pleasure actually of working with Robert Kiyosaki when he was doing a seminar called Powerful Presentations, and I was invited in to do the hair for makeovers. And in that I had the opportunity also to sit in on some of the sessions, and what was occurring was people were just sort of swapping jackets and things like that to see how a person could look different. And straight away, I had done a lot of awards work around total look concepts, and actually won some awards around that. So I knew that the total look was really important and can tell a story about that person. And so they're sharing who they are without even having to speak. So the idea of just swapping jackets with the different people in the group, I felt wasn't serving at the level that it could. So in my naivety or my innocence, whatever, or my courage, I approached Robert in the break and said, "Oh, hi Robert, I just sort of, saw you doing the jacket thing. How do you think it would be if we just got some clothes in and we did some full makeovers?" Now, Robert had never met me before, and he just looked at me straight in the eye and he said, "Do whatever you've got to do. That's, great." Didn't ask any questions. And, we actually did manifest this great opportunity for people to have these makeovers. That wasn't part of the program. So it was a very influential little moment. And even the person that was another assistant, she said, "Okay, so what are we going to do?" I said, "Well, we need to get some clothes from a boutique." And she said, "All right, we'll go to this boutique in Hyde Park and we'll get a whole heap of clothes and bring them here." Anyway, the owner of that boutique wasn't here. She was in the snow at the time. So that was a little bit of a hurdle, but we didn't give up. And this wonderful other assistant said, "You know what, I'm going to put it all on my credit card. We'll purchase it all, bring it back, and we'll do our magic, and people can buy it and give me the money, and whatever happens, happens." So we did that. It was a huge success, an absolutely huge success. And I ran the makeover section of that Powerful Presentations course. Every time they came to Australia in Adelaide, I helped to support them through that, and by getting in clothing. So there was this whole thing that was evolved out of just that one question. So, why am I sharing this with you? Because what I discovered, Robert's context was so clear that he knew whoever came up like me and spoke so clear about what I was going to do, he knew that was correct. It was a synchronicity. It was a moment of something magical that could happen, that could expand and evolve what he was doing. He didn't think that necessarily in the moment, but because his context was very clear, he knew whatever content was going to come into his space was going to be appropriate. So that is why when our context is not clear and succinct, we can feel, like we're not in control of our life. We don't know what we should do and what should come in and what shouldn't come in. So this is another version of, what is it that we're sharing that's authentically us? So, and I know it's an odd example, perhaps, if we're looking from a spiritual perspective, but what I did discover is that when people have makeovers, they create a new version of themselves, very much so. Some people go back, but a lot of people make huge changes in their lives because, what they're wearing is also who they are. You want to match the clothing with the person, because after all, we do have to wear clothes. Well, if you don't have to, if you're in a nudist colony or something, but in the world we live in most of the time, we have clothes. So it's a great way to be creative and express who you are without having to speak, as I said. So there again, it is about sharing who you are. It brings us to the question, doesn't it, really? What is your context? And what content can I share because my context is so clear? So for example, I'll give you an example of my context. So my context and intention for the work that I do is around identity, belonging, community, beauty, and innovation and creativity. That is a lot of the context of what I do. So within that, then there's a lot of content that I can share from myself, but also in the realm of spirituality, branding, personal development. Yeah, so you see, the content then is able to grow out of the context. So I invite you now to sit in a comfortable position, take a few deep breaths, and join me in a meditation around strengthening your context and your communication and your clarity. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Releasing all stress from your body. With each breath, taking in and releasing all stress. Noticing that your body is becoming very relaxed and comfortable. Feel your nervous system, your shoulders relaxing. Now we're going to visualize 12 chakras starting from your base chakra at the bottom of your spine. Visualize this chakra as red, spinning and opening. Visualize this chakra grounding you. Grounding you to Mother Earth. Moving up to your sacral chakra, which is orange. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning. Visualize this chakra opening you up to your creativity, your innovative nature. Now to the solar plex chakra, which is yellow. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning. This is the center of your motivation, your power center, your personal power. Visualize it opening and spinning. This beautiful yellow chakra. Moving up to the heart chakra. Visualize this chakra that is green. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning. Take a deep breath and release. Allow this chakra to open and open some more, opening your heart to be in better relationship with yourself, your family, your friends, and your community, and the world at large. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning a beautiful green, glowing green. Now up to the throat chakra. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the color blue. This chakra is the center of your communication, your vibration. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning, giving you the ability of expression and communication and vibration. Now up to the third eye chakra. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the color indigo. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning, which is the center of your insight, foresight, and your visions. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning, giving you that sixth sense. Allow this chakra to be an opening, a portal for your gifts and talents beyond this world, but to serve you in this world. Deep breath, exhale. Now moving up to the crown chakra. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning. This chakra is the center of co-creation, your connection to source. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the beautiful color of violet. Now moving up to the next chakra. about a forearm's length above your crown chakra. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the color pink. Visualize this chakra as your center of consecration. Of divine inspiration. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the light of pink. Now moving up to the next chakra, your ninth chakra. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the color of magenta. This chakra is the center of your salvation, your spiritual salvation. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the energy of plentiful. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Now moving up to the next chakra, another 4 arms length up to the next chakra. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the color silver. This chakra is the seat and center of revelation. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning, offering you opportunities of sacred knowledge, of kindness, of graciousness. Now moving up to the next chakra, the 11th chakra. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the color cyan. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning. This chakra is the center of your proclamation. Take a deep breath in, exhale. This chakra is home to your gratitude, your stillness, and unity. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the beautiful light of cyan. Now Moving up to the last chakra, another 4 arms length up. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning with the color gold, the light of gold. Take a deep breath in, release, exhale. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning. This chakra is the center of your exaltation. Visualize this chakra opening and spinning, offering you your divinity, supporting you in remembering your divinity, your focus. This chakra is also the seat of the extraordinary. Now, while we're in this vast, infinite, present moment, with our eyes closed, our body relaxed, we are remembering who we are. We're remembering the context of our existence and trusting in the content that we share, that we have created in our lives. So while you're in this vast, infinite, present moment, I invite you just to allow your values, your attributes, and your essence to come forth all by itself, just like a synchronistic moment. Allow them to just come forth. You don't have to do it. It will happen all by itself, because you're in this space of infinite potential and possibility. Take 3 deep breaths. And on the third breath, I'm going to ask the question, who am I in the now? I am ready to be the new version of myself in this vast, infinite present moment. I allow myself to evolve and expand. Now going back down the chakras, the 12 chakras, from gold to red, starting with the gold chakra, which is about a torso's length above your crown chakra. I am one with divine exaltation. And moving to the cyan chakra, I am one with divine proclamation. Now to the silver chakra, I am one with divine revelation. Now we move to the magenta chakra. I am one with divine salvation. Deep breath, exhale. Now to the pink chakra. I am one with divine consecration. Now moving to the crown chakra, which is violet. I am one with divine co-creation. Now to the third eye chakra, which is violet. I am one with divine vision. Now to the throat chakra, which is blue. I am one with divine vibration. Now to the heart chakra, which is green. I am one with divine union. Now to the solar plexus chakra, which is yellow. I am one with divine motivation. To the soul, the sacral chakra, which is orange. I am one with divine activation. And now to the base chakra, which is red. I am one with divine formation. And you have moved through all your 12 chakras, and then back down those 12 chakras. And in this space of relaxation and expanded consciousness, we acknowledge all that we have in our lives. We acknowledge the abundance that we already have in our lives. We are grateful for this abundance that's present in our life, the prosperity, our spiritual prosperity of what we can share that's of real value to people and to our home of Mother Earth. We acknowledge and give a deep gratitude and love for this experience of life on planet Earth. And in doing so, we give ourselves permission and allow ourselves to have more of who we are, which gives us the motivation to keep acknowledging and expressing the beauty of who we are as human beings, rather than the lack. Take a deep breath and release, releasing the lack and encouraging the plenty and the prosperity and the purpose. And so it is. Well, I hope you enjoyed that meditation. I certainly did. And today I leave you with a few things to maybe ponder in your daily life, which is, what is my context? And what is it that I share with people on a regular basis? And is that what I want to be contributing to? And if so, congratulations. I'm so happy for you that you're able to express and share your gifts, your absolute gifts and your abundance with the world. And that doesn't always have to be in a material form. When we are able to do that, miracles do happen. Magic happens. And it's because we're reminded that we are divine beings, and it's our birthright to live in that space of worthiness. So I invite you to live in the world of plenty and worthiness.